Hi everyone, Cendril here. Let's go see what Father Benedictus wants to discuss with us.
Forgive me for summoning you here at this time of sadness, but there is something I believe you will be eager to hear. You came in search of the sacred conveyance upon which Erdwin and his allies rode out to face the Dark One, did you not?
That's a really fancy way of putting it, but yes.
How did you know that?
Some days before your arrival, Holy Yggdrasil granted me another vision. I saw you, honored luminary. You were standing alongside Serena upon a great white object that transported you to an island in the sky. A strange and beautiful place.
And you think this was a vision of the future?
I do. For in my dream, Veronica was not with you. I have been greatly troubled as to what her absence might mean. I had hoped and prayed that my fears were unfounded, yet, alas, they were not. Which made me wonder if the conveyance upon which you stood might also be real. And then I remembered. Cetacea. The legends tell of a divine being who soared through the skies on silver wings. A beast summoned to Erdwin's side by a mystical melody. Perhaps it was upon Cetacea's back that you rode in my vision. And perhaps the island upon which you alighted is the next step on your journey. I intend to scour the annals for indications of how she might be summoned. I will inform you forthwith if my researches should prove fruitful. Now, the day's unhappy events have surely taken their toll. Rooms have been prepared for you all at the inn. Pray, rest a while.
Choose for the Holy Sage Serenica to be reincarnated as a single person, not two. Perhaps she knew that this tragedy would come to pass, that though Veronica would lose her life, she would ensure that Serena lived on. Fate is cruel indeed. The hated Lord of Shadows is staring down at us even now, yet there's nothing we can do to strike back at him. He'll get his. Joy on Fideas and Alma's faces the day their daughters were gifted onto them. How can such a terrible thing happen to such good people? Remember the day the twins departed to seek out the luminary and stand guard over him. They swore that they would lay their very lives on the line to shield him from harm. Perhaps they understood the true significance of those words, but I for one never expected such a tragic end to this tale. Veronica dead? Does that mean she isn't going to come back again? The poor Serena cannot help but be moved by how she carried herself during the service. She and Veronica were so close, and yet for her parents' sake she shed not a single tear. The anguish she feels must be beyond human expression. When Veronica was a little girl, she told me that she wanted to be a teacher of magic when she grew up. Now that dream will never come true. She was still so young. Did she lead a happy life, do you think? Ever since she was a little girl, Veronica loved to play with magic. She would throw fireballs and bolts of lightning into the sky just for the fun of it. But no matter how dangerous the power she played with, she took great care to ensure that no living thing was injured in the process. She was always thinking of others. I know what it's like to lose a child. I would not wish such pain on anyone. How is one meant to live when one's hopes for the future have been so cruelly snatched away? Many people lost their lives in the days of the fall, and yet I was convinced that Veronica would have escaped unscathed. Veronica, I miss you so much. I was so looking forward to hearing about your travels. Veronica, my little angel, never in my darkest nightmares did I imagine that such a day would ever come. It's all my fault. I should never have allowed my dear, darling daughters to go on such a dangerous journey. Please forgive your fool of a father. Blamed himself. Further, how terrible must have been your fate for only your staff to be returned to us. Only you two had not inherited the soul of the holy sage. Would that you had been ordinary little girls, that we could have lived in peace. Tragic. None of us would be standing here without Veronica. Dead at night, I hear the mournful tones of a harp drifting on the air. Ever since she was a child, Serena had always been somewhat lacking in drive. Where Veronica led the way, Serena would blindly follow. Indeed, it was Veronica alone who insisted they should seek out the luminary, she who convinced their parents to let them leave. Serena does not have the courage to challenge the Lord of Shadows. Prithee, luminary, do not lead her into any more danger. Her place now is not with you, but with her parents, not only for their peace of mind, but for hers also. I think that's going to change. And in a way, Veronica already showed the way. And Serena will follow. Like she said, where you showed the way, I will follow. It's almost as if the sky is crying. It's raining like this when I last saw your mother. The night when I fell into the river, you drifted away from me. I swore that I would one day grow strong enough to protect the people I love. I still have a long way to go. We're lucky Veronica had the strength that I didn't. We're all lucky. Eleanor, my dear wee lassie, when my boy, Cendril, you promised me something. Tell me you'll wait till your old granddad pops his cogs before you go shuffling off this mortal coil. People of Adrea are made of stern stuff. We can deal with whatever Morrigan throws at us. But a world where the old outlive the young? That's not a world I want to live in. It's a world that nobody should have to live in. I want to make everyone in Adrea smile, but with the world the way it is, that's an impossible dream. There are things that even I, the great Savando, can't do. Ugh, it's like depressing music. Making me all mopey. Coming from behind the inn. Sounds a lot like Serena's harp. Can't leave friends behind. I thought she would be, she was going to be there. Not Veronica and Serena's father, nor is Alma their mother. Sure, they both realized this long ago, but they were never so unkind as to say it. You adopted them? The pain of losing Veronica is almost too much to bear. I'd happily have departed the world in her place. Father Benedictus found a basket lying beneath the old oak in the grove north of the village. Two baby girls lay inside it, crying for their mother. My husband and I had long wished to start a family, but the heavens had not provided until that day. We took them in and raised them as our own. Father Benedictus told us he sensed great power within them, that they were the heirs to the soul of the holy sage. But that's not what mattered most. What mattered was that they needed us, and so we strove to raise them as best we could, to love them and make them happy. And yet, even so, they've met with naught but death and despair. Poor sweet Veronica. Promise, promise, O my love, thou wilt wait in boughs above, that our leaves might bloom together. Though time hath torn thee from my arms, and time hath wrought us countless harms, time shall make us one forever.
It's a love song from the Age of Heroes. The story of a lady pining for her long-lost sweetheart. No one remembers who wrote it, but I've loved it since I was a little girl. You know, something's been bothering me.
What's that?
Veronica. We were born at the same time, so our leaves bloomed at the same time, didn't they? Do you think they'll fall at the same time too?
I don't know. You've always been a bit slow, to be honest.
I remember that scene.
But I hope they do. Serena, I want you to promise me something. If anything happens to me, promise you'll finish this without me.
I shan't promise anything of the sort. I don't even want to think of such things. If only I had promised to do as she asked. Perhaps she might have been able to make her sacrifice more easily. She was right, you know. I always have been slow. When it came to talking, or walking, or learning magic, I was always a step behind her. But now I must tread my own path. Alone. I hate to ask, but would you mind awfully not going anywhere for a little while? I think I'm going to cry.
I'm here for you, Serena.
Thank you. I'm sorry to be such a bother, but I shan't be one any longer.
You were never a bother.
Veronica died to save me. I must make the most of my life, for her sake.
It's a good view. Good outlook to have.
No more tears. That was the old me. Goodbye.
All right.
What in the world? I feel different. Thank you, dear sister.
Serena can now use all of Veronica's spells and abilities. The Sage is reborn. Veronica has given me so much. I'm not going to be afraid anymore. But please, don't let me keep you. I think I'll stay here for a while and listen to the breeze. You should go back to the inn and rest. Well, at least it stopped raining. The sky was crying before. It seems to have cheered up a little now. Say we head back to the inn. It's almost dawn. We should try to get some sleep while we still can. Would you look at that? The sky's cleared right up. Else it was something to do with that sad song coming to an end. It was Serena singing, was it not? I like that, where she cut her long hair and is like, that's the old me. Where she was always just a step behind and was just content to follow. Now she's going to take her sister's lead and be in that role now. And like I said, thanks to her sister's last blessing, the Sage is reborn. Very heartwarming moment. Here's though, let me use the bank. I have all this money on me. Stacks for a rainy century. Awarded for having 1 million gold coins. Or, sorry, no. 100,000 gold coins squirreled away in the bank. I wish it was a million. So it's just kind of there. 100,000 gold coins. For a century. I like that.
Good morning.
Hey, Serena.
Or should I say good afternoon? The sun's already high in the sky. Father Benedictus dropped by earlier. He says he has something to show us at the top of the mountain. Everyone else has gone on ahead. But I thought I'd wait for you.
Thanks, Serena.
Shall we go and join them? There's a little door to the right of the cathedral. The path is through there.
Okay. Let's go. Veronica's sister. Oh, okay. Well, now she's like Rap. She is a sage, a person that casts both kinds of spells to a very high degree. So she's got all her heal spells, plus Kabuff, Acceleratle, stuff like that, and some of the debuff spells she's had. But now she knows Sizzle, Cusses. She knows Cusses. Which she already had. Bang, boom. She has all that. And the tree is filled. Remember, it was like she had the bottom half, and Veronica had the top half, I think. Or maybe vice versa, but they each had one half. But now they're together. Wands, spears, harpistry, heavy wands if we want her to wield a heavy wand now, whips, and vim. Skills and stat boosts received from Veronica that enables the use of the mightiest of magical implements, whips, and vim. So this will be the stuff she had before. And there's also, I think, some additional skills to kind of fill in the gaps. Like this. Here's a wand skill that wasn't there before. That we can see. I don't know if I want her to dual wield wands anymore. I might want her to have a heavy wand as well. Their Staff of Salvation, which she doesn't need, honestly. We're gonna grab this, because I take it anyway, and see what this skill is. Grace of the Goddess, 65 points. A beatific blessing that brings the user back to life if they bite the dust. It's auto-revive. It takes 65 points for her to have it, and MP costs 10. The MP cost isn't that big of a deal, but it's half of her skill points, but man, that is potent. Let's grab Magical Mending. That opens up some additional question marks. Hymn of Light. Protects all party members from light-based attacks. Also a pet power piece. And this heavy wand skill. Increased chance of pep up. There's a Harpistry skill there. It's cheap. Holier Hymns. Increase the effectiveness of hymns. So the protect against fire, ice, air. That could be useful if an enemy keeps blasting us with fire spells. Or fire breath. A lot of choices now. Yikes. We'll get to more of those later. She's got a lot of points, but we may just burn half of them, or more than half of them now, for the auto revive. That may be a thing that happens. Mountaintop. Father Benedict just passed through here on his way to the top of the mountain. Luminary's Landing.
Ah, there you are. So glad you could finally join us. Yggdrasil blessed me with another vision in the night. I saw Veronica standing upon this very ledge. It is known as Luminary's Landing. When Erdwin descended from the heavens after facing the Dark One, this is where he alighted. And this is the Calamus flute. In my dream, Veronica played upon it. It once belonged to the great sage Serenica. She left it in Arborea on her final visit, the day after the Dark One finally fell. I gave it to Veronica as a memento of her heroic ancestor. And yet, when I awoke this morning, there it was, upon my pillow. It is a sign. The flute will reveal the path you must tread. Serena, my child, if you would be so kind.
Of course. I think I must be doing it wrong. But if Veronica was playing it in Father Benedictus's vision, it must be the key. Can you try, perhaps?
Okay.
The mark! It's glowing!
What the?
Fishing! See, this is perfect. I've got this. Fishing is what I do. I like fishing.
Rod? I fear it is I who am seeing visions.
Pull! Pull now!
You
Pull!
got a bite! Oh, go on, darling. Reel it in.
Pull! Quite possibly the biggest thing I've ever caught.
A flying fish? No, that's a whale!
So it was as I suspected. It was upon her back that you rode in my dream. The sacred conveyance of the luminary, Cetacea. It
And
seems
back to being
that
a flute.
She heeds the call of the flute. You must play it whenever you require her aid.
That is, I was not expecting it to turn into a giant fishing rod. That was awesome. That was so cool. I now have the Calamus flute / fishing rod.
Go, luminary, and seek out the floating island. It is the World Tree's will. Whatever awaits you there will surely aid you in the fight against the Lord of Shadows. Do not let Veronica's sacrifice be in vain. Now, play.
Super fancy looking. It's a giant flying whale. And off we go. Super neat. The loveliest catch, awarded for recovering the flute left behind by the late Veronica, and with it summoning the serene being known as Cetacea? Yay! The sky. There's the floating island. Neat. The sky, world map. Take to the skies on Cetacea's back and find the floating island. You can zoom. And we'll go back to Luminary's Landing. That's neat. Speed up. Woo! There's evil. What do we have here? Well, there's Luminary's Landing. Okay, so there's certain places we can go to. Exploration time! Sure, what's this place? The Lost Land. The Tower of Lost Time. This sounds like a terrible idea. I deposited most of the money. Technicolor Dream Cloth. Spirit. So lots of spirits. Lots of spirits. Lots of spirits everywhere. Neat. Can I do that? Oh. Well, I better go see the treasure chest or something over here. New vehicle, new exploration time. And there is a treasure chest. Inside we get good godly gear. Triple G. Sacrosanct Staffs, Venus's Tears. The staff sounds awesome. Who knows if I can make it? if I have the A skill and B materials to make it. There are so many of the little spirits here. Colorful cocoon, glimmer grass, and 2 colorful cocoons. Door is tightly shut. It doesn't appear to have a keyhole, but there is a curiously shaped indentation in its center, like a gear. Okay, well if we find something we'll have to remember that and come back to this place. World. Up there. Okay, we'll probably be coming back here later at some point. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'll probably just start from Luminary's Landing next time, because I'm going to zoom and save, because this does it for recording for me today. Super excited to tomorrow explore all these different areas. I'll also figure out what I'm going to do with Serena's skill tree, because I just might I like Alma Mater, though. Though it's only a party member. I might take out the points in the wands tree. You know, dual wielding wands is interesting. And I might go heavy wands. I don't know. I'll decide one way or the other. And then I'll figure out what I want to do with the rest of the skill tree. Until next time, I'm Cendril 9. Remember to shoot for the stars and take care, everyone.